Every year, February is celebrated as Black History Month. Here at the library, we have several collections focusing on Black history and our oral histories and special collections. These collections are filled with fascinating content ranging from interviews with Oklahoma's first Black female representative, Hannah Atkins, to the Black American Military Experience collection. Here, we'll show you some excerpts from an interview with William Hunt, who grew up in the historically Black town of Boley, Oklahoma, as he describes life in Boley and facing discrimination throughout the Civil Rights Movement.
Boley gave me an excellent education. Even before I came to Boley at Chilesville, I'd like to go back to talk about that just a little bit. It was basically a two-room schoolhouse, and they made certain that you stayed focused, that you, in fact, learned the subject matter and the curriculum that was particular to your grade or age or growth level. And they didn't let students fall behind. If you fell behind, and the ones that were a little better, their job was to help those that weren't quite as smart. So it was sort of a culture type thing, but we all knew each other. Everybody knew each other. Every family in that school knew each other, and they cared about each other. So it was sort of a community that raised children. My fondest memory, the fondest memory was just being in Boley, being in a nurturing environment here in the Boley community. And again, just remember, when I say I'm from Boley, I'm from Chilesville, but I'm from Boley. I mean, when I don't have a hat that says Chilesville on it. It says Boley on it. But the memories I have is on, we worked hard as farmers, and then on the weekend, everybody came to Boley in town to do their shopping. The worst thing that ever happened, and it's horrible to say, and I probably shouldn't say this while you're recording it, but I'm going to say it anyway, is integration. We used to do business with each other, and people came to Boley to do their shopping, because when you went to Okemah, you couldn't go in those stores at Okemah to do your shopping. They didn't want you there. And I tell folks now that experience of having Okemah is the open-casket County seat here, and Craig and the rest of the towns were the same way. It was prejudice. Segregation was legal when I grew up here. When we went to the courthouse, there were 4 toilets in the courthouse. There were 2 water fountains in the courthouse. You know what those 4 toilets said? You know. No, you don't know. You're not old enough to know. Well, one said colored men, the other said white men. The other 2 said colored women, and the other said white women. The 2 water fountains, one said colored, and the other said white. And there was an old rock that, I don't know where they got that thing from. They just pushed up to the colored water fountain. But that was what you didn't dare violate that policy or that procedure that they had. When I went to Okemah, I went to the back of each one of the stores to eat. My dad took me back there. We couldn't go to the front. When we went to the movie theater, I had to go upstairs to the balcony. We couldn't go down in the main part. And this is kind of a sidelight, and I want this to be a negative, but in 1954-55, Emmett Till was killed in Mississippi. That's when it all sprung on me. And then why are we being treated different? I mean, what we want to do is be part of the human race, and we're spending our money, and yet we're being treated different. And so that was the year that I went to Okemah, and I went in the front door of the cafe. And I'll never forget this white guy who was so nice to us when we went to the back. He turned as red as a beet, and he says, "What in the hell do you think you're doing up here?" I did use the word hell. And I says, "Well, I want to get something to eat." He says, "Well, get your blankety blank back in the back where you always have been." I said, "I'm not going to do that. I want to order something, and I want to eat it here." he says, you'll never eat anything, and you get out of here now. And he used some very choice words for me, and so I left. Went on to the movie theater next, and I bought my movie ticket, and I went through the center door. Boy, did they come out of the booth, and I heard, "Whoa, what are you doing?" I said, "Well, I'm going to see the movie. I paid for it." He said, "No, you can't go down there. You got to go up into the balcony. You know where you always go. You went outside, you went up a set of stairs, and you went to the balcony." Okay, that's where the black folks, the colored folks went at that particular time. And I said, "No, I'm going to watch a movie, and I'm going to watch." I was by myself. I said, "I'm going to watch it down here." And he said, "No, you're not going to watch it down here. You're going to." He says, "Here, you take your money, and I'm going to give you your refund back, but you can't. Don't come back anymore." And I never did. But those stuck with me.